Alright guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Jabulani podcast. I mean, the first thing we've got to start with, and I don't want to talk about this because I hate it, but VAR. What an absolute shambles I think this piece of technology has been this tournament. You know, you got the Messi one yesterday, he competed for a header. I think Szczesny just goes into him, brushes him, and then it's a penalty. And then Croatia today, offside. I mean, what are your thoughts on VAR this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it's been, especially with last night with the Argentina decision, I think Szczesny was so hard done by with that. I mean, he just came along. He didn't even clench his fist at all. He sort of opened his hand up, clearly went for the ball and just sort of slapped Messi in the face. Did you hear as well that Szczesny's interview as well? He said about how, people that don't know, he said about, what was it? He bet with Messi 100 euros about whether it'd be a penalty or not. So I think Messi went to Szczesny and said, 100 euros if Szczesny thought it wouldn't be a penalty. And then, so Messi owes Szczesny 100 euros because of that awful decision. And so VAR, it's been very inconsistent. I think in times it's been working, it's been good. But when it comes to those penalty decisions, it's just not been great.
I mean, I thought that the offside, like the semi-automatic thing, I was liking that. But then I've just seen the Croatia decision and I'm thinking, like, well, what on earth's that? It's a joke.
There was another game that it was in as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What game was it where...
I remember one, not from the World Cup, but in the Champions League, Liverpool played Napoli and Østegård scored. And you can tell that, but it's just literally his shoulder.
Yeah, they need
and
to
it's
sort
not
that
offside.
out.
Because if you were looking at that, when you were a kid and you used to watch Match of the Day, and they used to stop the camera to show if you were offside or not, if you looked at that decision from the Croatia one, you just go, yeah, he's not. He's onside. He's timed his run perfectly. But now it's got such fine margins. It's not being used how we wanted it to be used. It was for clear and obvious decisions, and now it's being minute details. The fans don't know what's going on, because I think personally they should have it on the big screen, because then you get feedback from the crowd as to a decision. You get maybe in tennis with Hawkeye, they know what's going on because they can see it on the big screen and go, oh, that's out, and then you get a reaction from it. So I think if you get a reaction from the crowd, that could either help a referee to make the right decision, because they're not making the right decision. They're going by the law and not going by what is just common sense.
Yeah, I think there's an issue with referees, I think pundits have said this, where referees are going too much by the book. And I think having someone with more of a footballing experience as a referee, they will let things go, they will bring things back that, in the beauty of the game, some things shouldn't get awarded because of, but referees, they are so on the law. Like the Szczesny thing, I think it may be in the rule book that it would have been, say, a dangerous act from Szczesny to put his arm out, but in the game of football, that is not a penalty. Szczesny's done nothing wrong there. And I think, with the sleeve as well, I mean, it's not clear and obvious at all, is it? It's poor. It is.
I mean, it was Alan Shearer saying about it as well. I think I agree with your whole point where I think at this point you need to get some more former players coming in, because the amount of former players who go on to be a coach or a pundit, why not have some take up refereeing courses as well?
Yeah, I do agree.
They'd actually understand how the game works. They'd understand when, a player puts their arms in a certain place. They'd understand whether that's natural or unnatural kind of thing.
But I also think it would be good for the players as well, because if you look at players that have kind of gone down the wrong route from the end of their careers, I think Gascoigne's the prime example of somebody who couldn't find a buzz after playing football and being in a bunch of lads, because usually it's coaching, but if you're not the right type of character to be a coach, then you're kind of screwed, really.
Yeah, you haven't got many options.
Yeah, but then with this, you've got a core group of people that you will work with every day. You've still got a buzz of going out in front of a crowd. I think that'd be a great thing. If you keep your fitness, obviously, it'd be fantastic, because sometimes your legs go and then you can kind of feel it afterwards.
I think it would need a lot of trialling, though. I think, as well, with players, it would have to be so cherry-picked on what players can do which games, because as players there's a lot of journeymen out there that have played a lot of teams, and you've got to put into it where, say for example, players played for Manchester United and they're refereeing a Liverpool game. That can't happen because there could be a bias in there against United. So I think with players doing it, they have to be so.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing.
But do you think they'll be just do you think they'll look at that, or do you think they'll be professional in their jobs, or do you think they'll have a led bias?
I would say an actual referee would be professional in their job, but I think you take a former player, you kind of have to bring in like the Serbian journeyman to be the English referee, because he's obviously not going to have any bias. But you put him on the Partizan versus Red Star game, he's going to be biased.
There's going to be an issue, yeah. But I think it's a good point though. I think, yeah.
So do you think the technology is right, or the people are using it are just the wrong people?
I think the idea of VAR is great. I think I do like it, but yeah, I think referees, they're not harsh enough, and it's with the offsides as well. It's either you're onside or you're offside. I think with that VAR does help because it shows you whether
clear and obvious.
We're clear and obvious offside. But with the penalties, even when they're going and looking at the penalty, they still sometimes make the wrong decision, and you think that is bonkers. How can you see it a second time and still make a wrong decision? I mean, it's ridiculous, but referees need to improve.
Sometimes I think that they've gone over and have disrupted the crowd by about 3 minutes. They may as well just be said in their ears, well, look, to be honest, it's probably not a penalty, but just give it anyway to save yourself from embarrassment.
Yeah,
because I can't remember the last time that someone's gone over to a monitor and then kept his decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened once this tournament, and I cannot remember what game it was, but it happened once, and I do remember it, where they went over to the monitor and they were like really shocked that it wasn't given. But I can't remember what it was at all, but it definitely did happen, because I remember how shocked they were.
Yeah, I think as well, what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. Someone take that from me.
Yeah. So I think personally it interferes too much in games, because when it was brought in to the Premier League in that first year, it was brought into the Premier League, what they promised us was it will be for clear and obvious errors, and we will not try to interfere in games. Because I personally back VAR if it's used right, because and a lot of players I know don't want VAR, and now you kind of have to get the balance right of you have to be quick, like in the Euros. I think that should be a blueprint on how to use VAR from the foreign referees that were doing it, because it was quick, it was clear, and then they just got straight on with the game afterwards. And then now, if you look at this, it's taking too long. The players don't know what's going on, the fans don't know what's going on, and we're essentially making it up as we go along in a sense.
Yeah, going back to my point that I forgot about, I remember it now. How the referee in the decision for Argentina against Poland, I think that the commentators were saying how could he be swayed by the fact that it's Messi, because he's such a big character in the game, and I think does a referee think in the back of his mind, I don't think it's going to be in the forefront of his mind, but in the back of his mind, I think, am I going to give this because we want to see Messi score a goal? It's a big name. Do you want to give him the penalty because it's him, or do you want to give it because it shouldn't have been a penalty?
I'm not sure in that situation if it's true, but I do think there has been occasions where Messi, Ronaldo, or those kind of characters have been given decisions because of who they are.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in that scenario whether or not it's true, but there is potential for it. But
yeah, exactly.
I mean, you'd hope it's not true.
Yeah, well, for sure. Yeah.
Because that's just being unprofessional in that sense, and that's what we don't need in the game, because like we said about former players going into refereeing, will they be professional? Well, if the people that are teaching them aren't professional, then you probably wouldn't say that's a viable route for them if they want to referee. Let's say if Steven Gerrard became a ref and he had to referee a Liverpool game, you'd want him to be professional.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think that would happen, but
I mean, another thing I think with VAR as well, with the World Cup, I don't understand why they don't have... So you know how in like the Champions League, if you have a Dutch referee refereeing a team from England and a team from Italy, that's fine, and then you'll have the VAR all be Dutch. Here you've got an Italian ref on the pitch, you've got a Venezuelan in the VAR room with an American and a Slovenian person.
So there's a language barrier.
I don't know if it's a language barrier, but certainly English isn't their first language for some of them. And then as well, I mean, the rules could be ever so slightly interpreted differently in different countries. You know, like that save by Chesney, or attempted save by Chesney, might not be a foul in most places, but let's say like the Venezuelan VAR person, they might see that, and in Venezuela that might be given regularly. So
yeah, because you get in Champions League matches, you sometimes get English teams get a higher disciplinary record than the other countries, because our game's a lot more physical in England, and if a foreign referee was to go to that and see the tackles we were putting in, they go, yeah, that's a foul, a yellow card. Whereas in England, if you were to slide tackle, you probably wouldn't even get booked for it in some stages.
So going back to Chesney before we move on, I want to talk a little bit about Chesney's penalties. He is probably one of the greatest penalty savers of all time. I saw on the video on YouTube last night of someone collected all of his penalties. Even if he doesn't save it, he either goes the right way or he gets a hand to it. He is brilliant. I mean, he's sure. Was it 2 out of 2 penalties he's faced this tournament? He saved them. He's unbelievable. He knows exactly. Even said to the Poland players, calm down, because he knew he was going to save it. And I think he's one of the best we've ever seen with penalty saving. I think his save was amazing as well. Seriously strong hand.
Do you reckon if they get to penalties against France then that they'd win purely because of Szczesny?
Yeah. I think Lloris himself is a good penalty saver as well. I think France have serious quality from the spot, but I mean, from an England point of view,
would you say the best
I would have hoped that Poland will do France.
Would you say he's the best in the world then at saving penalties?
I think Courtois is up there as well, but I think as it was showing this tournament, I think at the minute if there's one goalkeeper I don't want to go up against myself in a penalty would be Wojciech Szczesny.
All right, so looking at the ins and outs now, we've got through the group stages and Mexico are out on goal difference. That was such prime shithousery from Saudi Arabia there, who had absolutely nothing to play for, and Mexico had everything to play for. 1 goal was all that was needed, whether it was an Argentina goal, whether it was a yellow card at one point, or if it was a goal from Mexico again, and Saudi Arabia had nothing to play for. The 96th minute just scored past them. I thought that was prime shithousery, but Mexico, they usually get out of group stages of tournaments. What do you think's gone on there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it was great spectacle, honestly. Like switching between the game when the Argentina game ended to go on to that game and see the goal. Yeah, Mexico, I think they were very hard done by. I think Poland's win against Saudi Arabia, like they controlled that completely. That was a great performance. But they matched each other so well. It got down to yellow cards, didn't it?
Yeah, they did.
And I think it's just that end of the game where I think Poland were in a better position as well. I do feel like because the pressure was on Mexico as well, and I think it may have got to them in the end of the game.
I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, the results are what matter. Mexico are out, but I do think Mexico were the better team than Poland at this tournament.
Mm.
They were better than Saudi Arabia for pretty much all that game.
Mm-hmm.
They were better than Poland, arguably. They were pretty even though in that game, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Mexico had the better chance.
Yeah, and then against Argentina, they were also alright. Was Argentina? Yeah. And then against Poland, though, against Saudi Arabia, they struggled. Against Argentina, they were awful. Like, they looked like they didn't have anything. And against Saudi Arabia, against Mexico, it was even. So I think Poland kind of just about scraped through, really, in the way that they're playing is just a lot of men behind the ball, hoof it up to Lewandowski, and obviously, because Lewandowski's going to score. But
Well, I didn't think they actually gave Lewandowski a lot of service, to be honest, because I think if you look at it, he's only got 1 goal this tournament. Well, finally, thank God he hasn't scored yet, but maybe there's a reason for that in that they don't actually offer him the service that he gets at a Bayern Munich or a Barcelona or even Dortmund when he was there. He was their focal point, always looked towards him, whereas maybe they're just trying to play a system that doesn't really get the striker involved as much.
He is a forward that likes to create his own chances, though, isn't he? And I think he hasn't been great, but I mean, that Poland team, I mean, they provided goals without him, but I think it could be the role, I'm not sure.
I just think Poland just looked really poor. Like, against France, I could see that being like 4-0.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I've not had many predictions go right this tournament.
We'll get onto that.
That could go completely wrong. But because I think I said last week about how I thought Japan absolutely turn over Costa Rica, and then what do you know? They lose 1-0. So, who knows? But I'm fairly confident France get through that. Unscathed.
Well, we can say Poland scraped through. There's one team that we didn't expect to go through that did not scrape through, and that's Australia.
Yeah, 100%.
How great have they been this tournament?
Well, how great has my boy Harry Souttar been this tournament? That tackle is the tackle of the tournament against Tunisia. Sure. They were through on goal, and out of nowhere he comes in and tackles him. And FIFA needs to have a look at his pace rating, by the way, because he's 41 pace on FIFA or something now. That needs to be upgraded at least to 70. But he's been incredible. ACL injury last year. His 4th game back. Premier League move surely now.
Yeah, his price tag's definitely skyrocketed after this World Cup. He's been brilliant. And in a side that no one expected to go through, I think we all put them bottom, did we not? I think I put Tunisia below them.
I definitely had the bottom.
Yeah. So it's a team that no one expected to go through, and they surprised everyone, and I'm very happy as well. I do love Australia, the Australian people, the Australian squad, the Socceroos, and I'm buzzing for them really.
I'm really glad to see it. For as much as, well, we can get on to Denmark. Like, for as much as I'm upset to see them really flop, I think it's brilliant to see Australia do really well. Like, I'm really happy for them. I mean, I was really happy to see Canada play well against Belgium, but then they've kind of just been awful since, to be fair. So that's kind of sad to see. But certainly Australia, I mean, I think, you know, like some of the more English-speaking countries, like Australia or Canada, they are quite likeable in terms of...
Yeah.
Certainly in England, I think they're well-liked. So seeing them do well is just nice to see.
Yeah, I think Australia and Canada are probably the only ones as well.
How far do you reckon they can go? How far do you reckon they can go this tournament then, Australia? They've got Argentina there.
They're going out.
Yeah, I think that's where it ends. I feel like they've had a brilliant time. Their fans have definitely enjoyed themselves as well.
Yeah. You've seen the scenes.
Yeah, the scenes at 3:30 AM in Melbourne is just it's just what it's about. That's what the Australian culture is about. They're absolutely unbelievable supporters, and yeah, but unfortunately, I think when you're playing against Argentina, I think
as well it could develop soccer, or as they call it in that country. I don't call it that, by the way. Just don't kill me. But it would develop football in that country, I think, as well. Because if you look at the A League that they play in, it's not like an MLS is in America. I don't think just yet, but it could be growing towards that stage if football grows in that country. I think this World Cup would really help that. Because the last player I remember going to Australia who was half decent was probably Del Piero, and that was years ago.
Nani's another one.
Nani's Nani's another one. I forgot about
Jimmy
that.
Jilton.
Conduct being disrespected here.
Adam Lafondra. You can go through all of them.
Mate, I'm out. I think who else was gone to? Anyway, we'll move on from that.
But what I was saying is that you can develop football in that country to make it a better league, and then get more maybe kids coming through into that league so they can develop and then get moved on to Europe.
Yeah, especially how it's not their first sport at all, but to see the support they were getting is just...
I think they need to host a World Cup. I think if they host the 2030 World Cup, it'll boom. It's the same way that it works with loads of sports.
They're hosting the Women's World Cup this year, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think obviously for the men's tournament to also be there, it would really help, because it's the same way with South Korea when they hosted it in 2002. They weren't regulars at the World Cup, but now if South Korea don't make it to a World Cup, it would be actually quite surprising.
Yeah.
But in 2002, they weren't really a footballing nation. Then it blew up there, and the K-League's now become quite big in Asia.
Yeah.
Or certainly South Korea as well. So I do think it'll help if Australia hosts a tournament. This tournament will help a lot as well. So
yeah, I mean, I'd love to say they could definitely host it for sure. I mean, it'd be a very sort of the size of the country. I think it's like what percentage of the country is made up by desert? So it would be quite a down the east side, and I think it would be
kind of had. I think all of it on these, and then I think Perth is the only place where it's really far west.
Yeah,
but you'd obviously try and fit in.
Yeah, you've got Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, all down the right, and I think that could be a really good tournament. Have they put a bid in?
I think in 2030 they've got interest in doing a joint one potentially. I think it's with New Zealand and Indonesia. I think.
Okay, I'd like it to be Indonesia. I tell you what, their footballing culture. Going a bit off topic here, but Indonesia's football topic is brilliant. I mean, Elkan Baggott, Ipswich Town centre back. I think he's 19, 20 years old. Before he even made his Ipswich debut, he already had over 1.1 million followers on Instagram.
Oh.
And he just, because he was an football player in England who was representing Indonesia, scored his first goal for Indonesia before he even made a home debut for Ipswich. And so Indonesia, they love their football. They did really well in the Asian Cup. They had a derby against who was it? They had a really good win. They smacked someone 5-0 to reach the semi-finals of the cup. And yeah, there's a great footballing nation. I think
Well, Southeastern Asia in general is a real sleeping giant, like Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, all of them. I think they all do have, especially with the World Cup expanding to 48 teams, all of them are going to be...
They've got a chance.
They've got a chance eventually. I think it'll take a while to develop, but eventually they will be huge in terms of in Asia. I don't know how much they'll get in the world, but we'll see with that. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then moving on now to England, we've topped the group. I mean, thankfully, I got a bit worried at the Wales game, to be honest, before the match started. But then when we played, we just looked class, I thought, particularly that second half. That Rashford free kick, Foden coming in at the back post, Rashford's on 3 goals now, joint level for the Golden Boot. What a tournament he's having.
Yeah, I'm buzzing for him. But massive soft spot for Ashley, and I think he hasn't had the easiest of past few years. And I mean, I'm speaking to United fans. I didn't even think that he would play in this World Cup, and he's really hit the ground running. I mean, he's had a fairly decent club run so far this season. I think he was coming on against against Iran, really impressed, and I think he deserved that performance against Wales, and I'm buzzing for him, and I think yeah, he'll be very, very important in the last stages of the tournament, and yeah, I think as well where there was no way we were going to go out. So I think I came into that Wales game thinking, yeah, we'll be fine. There's not much pressure on us. I think finishing second in the group would have been tough, but I did think we would. I mean, Wales. I said at the start. I said Wales. I knew Wales would finish bottom of the group.
I question how hard it would have been finishing second, because one of the Netherlands, USA, Argentina, or Australia make it to the semi-finals. I think England can beat all 4 of them, personally.
Okay.
So
I think we beat Netherlands. I'm not sure about Argentina though.
I could see us beating Argentina. I just think they've looked.
They haven't looked.
Saudi Arabia beat them, so
yeah.
Anyone can.
Yeah.
And they certainly look suspect at the back. So
agreed.
I do think that we have a chance against all 4 of them. I'm not saying I didn't want to top the group, but I'm just saying I don't know how hard it would have been if we finished second.
Yeah, I think with the run we've got, it is looking like it's going to be Senegal round of 16, France or Poland, France. Semi-final, I think it's either Spain, Belgium. Who is it? Spain?
No, it'll be like I think it's Spain, probably Croatia.
Oh, Croatia! Yeah.
I would love to run it back against Croatia.
If it stays as it is right now, because we're sort of recording in the middle of that group's games. If Morocco top the group, that is, was it Spain, Morocco?
No, I think it'll be Croatia. I think it's if Croatia finished second, I think.
Oh, and then Spain, Croatia.
So I would love to run it back against Croatia.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll beat Spain though.
No, I don't think they will. But I'm saying I would love
nice.
it. Like.
I think the last game isn't it second in Portugal's group? So it's looking like it's going to be Ghana.
Probably Ghana
against who is it?
Probably Brazil. Like.
No, Brazil are on the other bracket, in there. I think it might be Switzerland, maybe. I think it might be Switzerland against Ghana.
If Ghana finish second, they'll face first in Brazil's group, and that will be Brazil.
Oh, so Brazil are on our bracket?
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought they were the other side.
I think, or it might
I think
be.
France
I'm
in our
pretty
bracket
sure.
as well.
I'm not.
Yeah, France are, because we'll face them in the quarters.
I'm not sure. It might be on the other side, but then that means that
We don't have to worry about that if we're facing France, though, do we?
Either way, it doesn't really matter what the bracket is. We just beat what's in front of us.
Yeah, you can only play what's in front of you, and I think it will be Spain in the semi-final, and then Argentina in the final. Really, I mean, I would enjoy that for sure.
I mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, obviously I'd go for England, but then a part of me would die knowing that Messi won't win the World Cup.
No, I think what the beauty of this would be, I think I'll get ridiculed for saying this, but I think I would absolutely love it if we were the nation to just heartbreak everyone from that Messi, because everyone already hates us. Like, we're already the most hated nation in the world in terms of football. Everyone thinks we're arrogant. They think imagine if we won the World Cup to deny Messi, and the whole world would hate us even more. And I think that would be gold.
Argentina or Portugal would be beautiful.
Or even Portugal are even better, but I don't think they'll reach the final.
No, I don't.
But Argentina have got a much better chance, and that's it. It's Portugal in our bracket, isn't it? Because they're in our end. Yeah, so Spain or Portugal.
Yeah,
but,
I can agree with that. Do you remember the Euro final with Italy? And I remember looking through my Instagram feed, and I think it said something like England versus Italy, and it was just a picture of who wants everyone to win. And so it was like England had like England, Scotland, Italy, Wales, Italy, the whole of Europe, Italy.
All Italy. So yeah, everyone hates us, and I think that would be amazing I mean, it would hurt me inside a little bit, but I think it would be fucking very unbelievable, isn't it? Like,
no,
we are that team to do that, aren't we? I think there's one team to piss off the whole world. It is England.
Yeah, no one likes us.
No one likes us. We don't care. England. We are England.
So Wales are out. Get it. That flag meme was just so good. It just summed it up.
Brilliant.
64 years, get knocked out by England, go home in that order.
I mean, before I'd never really minded Wales. I mean, I think for me the rivalry really is Scotland. I think the footballing rivalry is more Scotland in the history. But Wales, coming up to this tournament, things like what Kiefer Moore said, and who was that? I don't even know his name.
Thomas.
Yeah, Sorba Thomas, like saying how it'd be great to knock England out.
But we don't fear England.
Yeah, we don't fear. We never have.
Whether rugby
we
or
never have rugby or anything. Yeah, like mate, shut up. Honestly, I said it from the start. Wales were not going to win any. I did say everyone would beat Wales, but USA always didn't. I mean, that's one of the predictions that I was very confident about. I think Wales wouldn't. They didn't have a. Rob Page is a bit hard done. But I think he hasn't had a good squad, but it makes me laugh how confident those fans were that they were going to make it through.
I always thought the only reason that anyone was confident of Wales is because their fans are so like they're always on about team spirit. But like you look at I was always just going on about the fact it's Johnny Williams. like come on now.
The thing is, I saw a TikTok as well. It's like going to make the most bang average five-a-side team, and he goes through and he goes, right, Wales, oh perfect, I'll take Aaron Ramsey. Oh, Wales again, oh perfect, I'll take Ben Davies. I'll take Gareth Bale. I'll take Kiefer Moore and Wayne Hennessy. They are the most bang average team. I mean, especially Ben Davies. I will just say he's the most average footballer, isn't he? Like he's just there's nothing good about him. There's nothing bad about him.
He's just versatile. I think he's at Tottenham. I think he's only there in case someone gets injured.
Yeah, exactly. He's so average. Like he's mid. Do you know what I mean?
To me, he just sounds like a player who played between like 2000 and 2015, and he had like a loan spell at Aston Villa, but spent most of his career in the Championship.
Exactly. He's one of them. But anyway, I mean. I don't mind the Welsh supporters at all. I think
they're brilliant.
Welsh have got a great fan base, and I think the fans were, but it was the players for me that just, especially when they celebrated Iceland knocking us out.
They've not changed since Euro 2016. I don't think. If you look at that team that was there, they've still got Hennessy in goal. I mean, Hennessy's a backup keeper at Forest. Okay, he's 37 now.
They haven't developed enough at all.
Allen's still in there. I mean, I was one of Joe Allen's biggest praisers, but I do think he's a massive reason as to why they've gone out. Came on. Gave the ball away straight to that Iranian player, smashed it in, did the same again about 3 minutes later. They've not changed since then. And Bale, I think, he's not done anything this tournament apart from that penalty. Because he's only taken 30 touches in a game throughout all the games he's played in, and got taken off for Brennan Johnson in the last game. That'll be Gareth Bale's last World Cup highlight, is being substituted for Brennan Johnson.
I do like Gareth Bale, and I think he deserved. I mean, they did reach the semi-final of the Euros. I think he
deserved loads of credit for that.
Yeah, he deserves a massive amount of credit, and I think his career, he's one of the most underrated players in our generation. I think it's a shame to see how his international career's gone. I think imagine if he was English.
I will say I don't know.
I think he's the best British player.
I don't know that it is a shame with how his international career's gone. Because you look at the amount of great Welsh players that they've been. And never even got to a major tournament.
True, yeah, he did bring him to the World Cup for the first time.
He got them to a semi-final of a Euros.
But for the quality of Gareth Bale, I think he's the greatest British player of all time.
I agree.
For longevity.
Longevity.
For quality. You got George Best in there as well.
I would say for what he did for his country, though.
You do have George Best, but I think
Northern Ireland didn't get to a semi-final of a Euros or a World Cup.
Yeah, he's done a lot for his country, and I think he's won 5 Champions Leagues. Yeah. He scored twice in the final to win the game. He's won countless La Ligas, winner in the Copa del Rey against Barcelona. He had these moments, and I think, George Best, David Beckham, Bobby Charlton, these players. But I think Gareth Bale, in this age as well, he is he was the 3rd best player in the world at one point, and I think that's a massive credit.
I think the fact is that Ronaldo would not have won as many individual trophies and club trophies like the Champions League if it wasn't for Bale.
Yeah, exactly.
Stepped up every time. Kiev final, the Lisbon final in that first one when they won La Decima, all Bale. Copa del Rey, Bale.
Yeah.
And then Ronaldo gets all the awards for it. Yeah. I'm not trying to hate on Ronaldo, but I'm trying to say that if you're pushing Ronaldo to be one of the greatest ever, then a part of that is Bale, and you have to say that he's probably one of the best Madrid players ever. I think he's definitely the most successful Brit to go abroad.
Oh, 100%. There's not been that much success, has there? I mean, Owen Hargreaves,
David Beckham.
There's not really been that many names.
When the first name that comes up is Owen Hargreaves.
I know, that's the one I can think of that went to Real Madrid. Other than that,
I mean, he was born in Germany anyway as well. So
true. Yeah.
I mean, now you've got Bellingham, but then
I think
he's not done the Bale stuff.
He's joining Liverpool.
Well, Agent Trent on there.
Yeah, but last thing I'll say about Wales, I just can't believe how they're relying on Kiefer Moore as a striker. I mean, I've seen a lot of tweets.
It was bad enough they were relying on Sam Vokes 4 years ago.
Well, yeah, even that. But I just see it's like how far Kiefer Moore has come from. There's an article about Ipswich Town signed Kiefer Moore from Forest Green Rovers on an 18-month deal. And we're thinking, and all the replies to that tweet in 2017 were like, who is this guy? Like, why are we signing him? That's such a Mick McCarthy signing. It was very much a Mick McCarthy signing. Played us for a year, got subbed on against Norwich, almost scored, did nothing else. And now he's saying things like, oh, can't wait to knock out England. I mean, mate.
That went well.
Kadima. You know what I mean? Yeah. That went well, yeah. Cheers, mate.
So, looking at, I was going to talk about Ronaldo a little bit. I think that is just a bit embarrassing where it's come to now.
Yeah.
If you look at the decisions that he's had against him, or, well, I say against him, the crossing from Bruno, it doesn't even touch him, and then he's trying to claim it's a goal. I just think it's such a shame as well, because I used to love Ronaldo as a kid because of like how good I thought he was, and then now it's just come to he's not good anymore. His age is catching up with him, and he's trying to get every last little bit out of him. Like that goal.
He's forcing it, isn't he? I think Ronaldo's one of my favourite players of all time. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Cristiano Ronaldo, but I think in this part of his career, I think the word to describe how he's been is insecurity. I think he feels like he needs more, because he needs more goals, he needs more success. Ronaldo, you've done it. I think your career, you've had one of the best careers in football history. I think now is a time to sort of, accept that you're 37 years old. You're not going to be scoring the goals you are. Like, you don't have to ask the Portuguese FA, for example, to try and rescind the goal to you. I just think.
But that just creates disharmony in the dressing room. It just creates disharmony in the dressing room anyway, because then you've got Bruno. Imagine if when Bruno hit the post. Can you imagine if Bruno scored a hat trick and then the Portuguese FA went, "Oh well, we want to actually take one of Bruno's goals off now."
Yeah.
No, I don't think they would.
I think that would have happened.
I was going to say, I would question if he got the hat trick, would they have done that? No way. No way would they do that. And then because they know it's not a goal by Ronaldo, but they're only doing it because they know that Bruno didn't get the hat trick, and so to get another goal to Ronaldo's goal tally,
stat pad him.
Yeah,
I think it's an easy cop out. But then Adidas have released that it didn't touch him, and you can see it, can't you?
Well, like, it definitely scrapes his hair, but if scraping someone's hair makes it a goal, like
it's reminded me of the Harry Kane Ericsson thing.
That was against Stoke. I remember.
Yeah, when Kane was like, Kane had obviously was like in the dressing room in the interview. I remember he was like, I don't care, it's my goal. Same exact that. Like, it's a direct quote. I don't care, it's my goal, and it didn't actually touch him. At least Ronaldo. But Ronaldo was like, what was he? He was going like, when he found out it wasn't his goal, and I'm thinking, mate, just give it a rest.
For the amount of goals he scored as well, it amazes me how much he cared about that, though.
Yeah, I mean, but why can't he just go to Bruno and congratulate him and be like, "Oh, mate, well done, Bruno's having an unbelievable tournament." I would say he's been electric. But so why is Ronaldo trying to take that off him? I mean, come on, mate, like, just be nice about it. I know.
Well, it's the same with what both of you were saying. I think Ronaldo's the second greatest player of all time, and that is unbelievable for the amount of players who've played football. But I've never liked him as a player off the pitch.
Yeah, off the pitch, he's
never liked him.
He's not been the most likeable.
But then it's like that. Even though that happened on the pitch, it's starting. I feel like who he is off the pitch is starting to creep into his on the field things now.
Yeah.
It's just becoming to the point where he's just a very dislikable player as well. Like,
didn't he tell Piers Morgan about it as well?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that meme is true as well.
Yeah, I'm going to tell Piers Morgan, give him a little backpack, like, right off into the tunnel.
But the fact is that meme's true now as well, because there's this one guy who came on to, I think it was like Fox News or CNN News, who said, I was talking to Piers Morgan about this, and apparently Ronaldo texted him from the locker room saying, I touched it. And it's a little bit kind of embarrassing at the moment.
37 years old, mate. Just give it a rest. Don't get me wrong, I do love Ronaldo. I do absolutely. I think what he's done on the pitch, but at this point of his career, I think what he's been about in his career, it's not been this. He's always been like such a, in my opinion, in his younger career, like a likeable person. I think what he's done, like his confidence. I love his confidence, but I feel like at this time in his career, he needs to stop trying to do too much. I think he's asking for more than he's biting off more than he can chew at this point. I think now's the time really to sort of slow your career down. Don't go to Saudi Arabia. Maybe I think the MLS would be much better for him. But maybe even just stop your career.
Well,
maybe even just
if he goes,
go out on the top,
hang the boots up. I know how I would hate to see Ronaldo retire. Just hang the boots up, in my opinion.
Go out on the top, finish at the World Cup.
I think he should just retire, but he could get so much money just by being an ambassador. Just be an ambassador for an MLS team, and he could get basically, like, I would imagine he's getting offered, I think, $75 million a year to go to play in Saudi Arabia. He could probably get about $10 million a year just to be just to be like an MLS ambassador.
He's already got his brand anyway. You could always start something.
Or he could just do his own brand. But I mean, like, if he's bothered about the money, MLS pays so much just for ambassadors.
Yeah,
just do that.
I think as well, his son's getting older as well. I think his son's got a promising career ahead of him. Maybe stop your career and start working on his. Let's try and be with your son.
Yeah, like that as
work
well.
with him. Like do what he wants to, because his son is a talented footballer.
Yeah.
He's got the genetics of one of the most naturally talented footballers of all time. And I think why don't you just work on your son? Stop. It's your time's gone. Now it's time for your son. I think that's one thing as well.
Agreed.
But
Should we go on the quiz?
All right.
should we move on to that? I'm looking forward to this now. Time to get 3-peat. What's this one going to be then?
Let me get it up. Okay, right. We'll start off with the classic. Where are they now?
Okay.
So these are players who have played at this World Cup.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see with this one. So we'll start off with Luke De Jong. I don't know if he's actually played, but he's certainly been called up. But
He has been called up. Have you got it already?
I think I've got it, but I don't know if it's right. I usually
know
go
where
straight
he
into
was.
these things.
I don't. Okay.
I usually go straight into these things without thinking. That's why I've lost.
I'm not sure if he's still there, but I'm going to put that.
all right, Joe Rodon.
Oh, the Spurs Argentina fella.
Welsh
Welsh.
defender.
I'm thinking of fucking someone else. Joe Rodon. Oh,
Is he not at Spurs anymore?
I will not
Well, I
comment.
mean,
okay, right.
I will not
is
comment.
it a loanee? No. Is he loaned?
I'll say he's on loan. So
He
he
is
is,
on
he is
loan.
at he is at Tottenham. So
But he's
what,
okay.
what club is he
I
on
think I've
loan
got
at?
it. I think I've got it.
Okay, I'll go with these. I think. Not sure that's right, but
All right. Next up, we have a man who scored one of the greatest Premier League goals and then just dipped. Alriza Jahanbakhsh.
Jahanbakhsh. Yeah, one of the greatest Premier League.
Well, no, it's not the greatest, but it's a good goal. Like,
Yeah, it was. There's no very
greatest of that season, I'd say.
Where is he now, though? He's had a great tournament, has he, as well? We'll say that. Jahanbakhsh.
Which goal was that? I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
He scored an overhead
Chelsea.
kick against Chelsea in was it 1920 season? I think January.
Yeah,
I wanna say?
1920. Yeah,
Oh.
in the winter.
It was
Wait,
very
wait.
very good.
Wait, who was that for again?
Brighton.
Brighton. He's not there.
Oh yeah, no, I remember which one now.
He's not there anymore. As a clue.
I don't know where he is though. I'm going 0 for 3 at the minute. I'm just gonna put.
I like how I ask you which clubs that that's, and it's just me trying to get something else.
All right, you ready for the next one, or do you want?
No,
Yeah,
I need a bit more time. I'm trying to think of just a guess, the viable guess. I just don't know.
If you want a clue, I can give you it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plays in the Netherlands. Eredivisie.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I definitely had that wrong.
so I had no idea. We'll go with.
I'm gonna go for some mid Holland team.
Yeah, right, I'm just gonna go with that.
All right, next one. Kamil Glick.
Kamil Glick. Oh, I know this. Oh, he's in. Oh, I know this. No. Oh no, I'm thinking of Blaszczykowski. There he is.
This one is probably not where you expect him to be. So if you want, if you
Yeah,
think you know,
okay.
put it down. But if you want a clue, I can give it. But I'll let you think about it for 10 seconds.
No, I'll just go with them. I think he used to play for him.
Do you have any idea? Or... All right. The clue is he plays in a southern European country,
Southern European. Okay.
or it would be classified as a. Yeah, I would classify it as southern.
I put Monaco, so I don't think that's right.
You could.
Okay,
you could
I'm gonna
almost-
go with them. I think that's a good guess.
I'm using my geography skills now.
I think I've got a good guess here.
I mean, they're not really.
He
Southern
also
European.
plays in the second tier of that country.
Oh, okay. Well, that's wrong. How are we going to get
Southern
that?
European.
You might have heard of them. If you haven't, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it that team.
It's a big country. I'll give you that as well.
Yeah, I've got no chance. I feel like it's Turkey. I've got a Greek side in here, but they're not second division. I've got Olympiacos. Like I don't think Olympiacos was a bad guess either.
All right, we'll go for the final one. Hector Herrera of Mexico.
Oh, Jesus.
Hector Herrera of Mexico.
He used to play for Porto, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he went to Atletico and recently left.
I just put Atletico, so just say that.
Recently left. So he's not there anymore.
Okay.
I don't know how recently. I will have a look at that while you're doing that.
Hector Herrera. Is his name Hector Herrera?
Hector.
Yeah, he
got it.
he joined his current team in March this year, so he's not been there that long.
Okay.
Oh, if it's March, then that might mean.
Wait, so he joined in March?
He joined in March.
That's MLS then, surely.
That's what I was thinking.
I'll give you 10 more seconds. And then
I've got a team, but I just don't know who.
I'm just gonna guess. I saw a thing about them. Come up, so fuck it.
All right, you ready with them? You got them.
Let's go. Yeah.
All right, so I'll reveal the answer to these, and then we've got
Oh,
another
that way.
section, and then a potential tiebreaker.
Okay.
Okay.
So Luke De Jong, where do you have him?
I put telling me he was at PSV.
I put Sevilla.
PSV.
Oh, yes, good.
Well done.
Go on. We're on
I
the
think
board.
he used to be at Sevilla, but I just put that because I just didn't really know.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, and then he didn't go to Barca, I think, and then
Yeah, he did.
Must have done. Yeah.
Joe Rodon, where do you have him?
Swansea.
Bournemouth.
Stade Rennais.
Stade Rennais.
Stade Rennais.
What?
What?
I was surprised to find that out too. I don't know how much he's played there, but he's on loan there, so there you
Fair
go.
enough.
You would have expected Nice of any French side, realistically, with the amount of Premier League rejects there.
Yeah, true.
All right, Johan Batch.
Like I said, some random mid-Netherlands team. Fortuna Sittard.
I've gone with PSV, but obviously that's not going to be right. Cause
Feyenoord.
I put Feyenoord and scrubbed it out. Oh my god, no. I'm gutted. I literally put them
So
down.
it's still just 1-0?
1-0, yeah.
All right. Camel Glick.
This one I ain't got. I put Olympiacos.
Well, you said Southern European. I don't know if Italy counts as like Southern European.
It does, it
yes.
does.
So I thought, where do a lot of Italian people go? But in the second division, like Fabregas, like Como.
You're on the right tracks with second tier in Italy, but it's Benevento.
Benevento. He's a fucking player.
All right, final one. Hector Herrera.
Minnesota United, just why not?
Houston Dynamos.
Houston Dynamo.
No way!
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
What a guess!
Oh, no.
Yes! What a guess! Look at that! Houston Dynamos. That's unreal.
Well, it technically says Houston Dynamos, so
Well,
technically
yeah.
we'll have to...
Come
We'll have
on.
to
Houston Dynamos, mate. Same
Right.
thing.
Next section is a simple yes or no game. We have 10 of them. You just
Yeah.
have to say yes or no. Has this country bid or hosted the World Cup?
Okay.
So, so they don't even necessarily have to have hosted it, just bid.
Okay.
Right. Iran. So just write down.
Alright.
I do have the years for if they did host it or not.
Okay.
So, all right, you got that one?
Yeah.
Just a yes or no. Right. Hungary.
Ooh.
I've got mine.
You got yours?
Yeah.
Peru.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
that.
think that.
Norway.
No way.
No way.
Chile.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Christ.
Libya.
Libya. Nice. Fucking hell.
New Zealand.
Okay.
Panama.
Okay. These are they're weird, you know.
Austria.
Alright.
Okay.
And finally China.
Right. I've got mine.
All right, you got yours?
Yes.
Right.
All right. Iran. Yes or no?
Yes.
No.
Yes. 1990.
Oh,
Damn.
Get in.
Hungary.
I put no.
Yes.
Yes. 1930.
Oh.
Come on. I knew that. Puskas.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they didn't host it, but they
No,
did bid.
but I can see why
Yeah.
they would have wanted to host it now.
Big football inside back then.
Peru.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 1970.
Okay.
Where I think Mexico ends up hosting it. Norway.
No.
No.
No. Well done.
Level at the minute, mate.
Chile.
Yes.
Yes. They hosted the 1962 one and also bid
Yep.
for 94.
Oh, really?
Libya.
I put yes.
I put yes too.
Yep. They did a joint bid with Tunisia in 2010.
Yep. I thought that was too outrageous. That had to be.
Yeah,
that had to be-
exactly.
New Zealand.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
They've
okay.
not officially. They
Okay.
do have interest in hosting 2030 and 2034, but not officially.
Okay.
So, no. Panama.
Yes.
But no.
No.
Yeah!
Of course they haven't.
I never thought so.
Austria.
No.
Yes.
Yes, 1990.
Bang,
a
let's
lot
go.
of
That's
a
the
lot of
win.
random teams went for it in 1990. Iran and Austria.
That is weird.
China.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay. So how many do you get?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
I got 7.
Okay,
Oh.
wait. So how many did you get on? So it's what? So you got.
We drew 1-1 in the
Drew
first
1-1
one.
in the first one. Pete won that one.
Okay, right. We can do a pointless. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll do a pointless.
So we do
I'm
pointless.
ahead, but we'll...
So this I have. If you get like relatively similar, I have another pointless which is very difficult, and
Okay.
you probably won't do very well at it.
Okay.
But
Alright.
I'll do the easier one first. So the easier one is just name a player who has more than one goal at the 2018 World Cup. So he scored more than one,
Okay.
and obviously lowest answer wins.
More than one, so yeah, can't we just one?
Okay. More than one goal.
So just think of players who scored at the 2018 World Cup, and then think, did they do it again?
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
I've got one down, but I'm going to think of a more obscure one.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same.
That's kind of what you got to go for, because I'm assuming you know the answer to this in terms of some of them.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
if you're going to say Harry Kane, you're not going to get very many points. So
Put another one down, but I'll decide which one I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for one of them. This is tough, you know. I'm trying
I
to think
might
of like
go-
the more obscure, the more like skilled nations who play.
Yeah,
for
the thing
them.
is, I'm trying to think of that, but I got one, which is you wouldn't expect him to score, but like it's a pretty big nation.
Yeah. Come on. Think. Oh yes, I've got a really good one.
Oh no.
Yes, that's a really good one. That is so smart. And there's another one which, afterwards, after we say it, I'm going to say I can't remember his name. It begins with a G, and it's like
well, do you have yours?
I mean, I've got two, but I don't know. how
Yeah,
confident
the
I
one
am.
I'm going for.
I'll let you go for both. So which is the
Oh,
first
right. John Stones.
one? Okay.
I've got John Stones as well, but I'm not going.
Okay,
for
so
him.
John
Yeah,
Stones.
that's what I was thinking.
John Stones is worth 35.
Okay, yeah.
So he
that's-
is correct. He is a correct answer. He got
I
2
think
goals.
it's, this is a risk. I don't know if it's right or not, whether he just scored one goal, which was like one significant goal.
Send it.
Irving Lozano.
No.
No, incorrect. Mine. So I've got one here. Miley Jedinak.
1.
Come on. And there's also the Swedish centre back. I know his name. I can't remember his name. It's like Granvist.
Yes.
Pointless.
Pointless.
Oh, well played.
There is one other pointless answer.
Which one's that?
Takashi Inui of Japan.
Wow.
Oh,
Uh,
don't think I would
and
have
then
got that.
other low-scoring answers include Wabi Kazri
Well, I was just thinking of Kazri.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think he scored 2 against Belgium.
and Yeri Mina. And Denis Cheryshev is also quite low as well.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis Cheryshev. Wow.
So there you go.
But yeah, because I remember Jedinak and Granvist. They're both penalty takers. They both scored 2
Oh,
penalties.
yeah, that's a good way of
So
thinking.
Jedinak scored a penalty against Australia, and he also scored a
Against
penalty
Australia.
against France. Sorry, he scored one against France in a 2-1 loss, and then he scored another one. But do you know why I know that? I sat through the other week, last week, and watched a video with every single 2018 World Cup
2018
goal.
World Cup
So
goal. Yeah.
that helped. So yeah, buzzing with Granvist.
I feel like Wales in the group stage now.
Well, it's the 3-peat, my friends. I'm apologies. my ball
Well,
knowledge
there
is-
is. If you want to do this one, this is very difficult. If
Yeah,
you
we'll,
can,
we'll
Yeah,
give it
let's
a
do it.
shot. We'll
if
give
you
it a
can
shot.
get one like this, I don't expect you to get anything really from this. But the first goal scorer for the host nation of the World Cup. So this goes back all the way to 1930.
Ooh, okay.
Okay,
So if you know who
at
scored,
least one of them.
you just need to get one
First
name.
goal for a host
So
nation.
obviously, there are the more obvious ones, which are obviously worth more. But if you know for some reason who was the first scorer for Japan, let's say in 2002, then you're gonna get a good
I
score.
think I'd do. To be
I've got one, but it's so obvious.
I got one. Yeah.
All right, who are you going for?
Shabalala.
Shabalala.
He's worth 26.
That's not bad.
So the best one would have been the goal. Well, there's 2 pointless
Is it
answers.
Cheryshev who scored for Russia?
No, it's Yuri Gazinski.
Yuri Kaczynski.
But the pointless answers.
I was thinking Frank.
Where?
No, sorry, Frank. I was thinking. No, I'm not Puskas. I'm thinking of someone of the but they didn't host.
I was thinking of
like
England
you
with
said.
Charlton. Was he the first one to score for
He
England?
was, but
Yes.
he was worth
He
51.
was worth 51, okay.
But the 2 pointless answers were Javier Valdivia for Mexico in 1970.
Fair
Jesus.
play if you
And
got that.
Lionel Sanchez for Chile in
They're
1962.
pointless.
They were both pointless.
Yeah, I'm not blaming.
So Hector Castro for Uruguay in 1930. If anyone knew that, it was worth something. Someone knew that.
Someone knew that. It must be a Mexican.
Must be you.
Fair play.
Must be you, Matt.
I mean, I've not been surveyed by pointless.
Well, brilliant. Brilliant quizzing again from you. I like that. You know.
Same here. Like I said, if you have enjoyed this podcast, do make sure to share it. We're on TikTok, on Instagram as well. We'll definitely get a few clips out on this podcast as well.
Yeah, there's been a few good bits.
Been a
out
few
of the
good bits
podcast.
for
Been a
sure.
very enjoyable one as always. Thank you guys.
Been a few good bits for sure. Do make sure to leave a like and follow us on Spotify and everything else. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.